The Rahul Gandhi's assertion that even the dictators have held elections in their countries and have won is something that needs to be taken with a complete pinch of salt. Likening it to a country is even more bad. Rahul Gandhi comes from a Congress party. This Congress party, which is the oldest political party, if we may say, within India, and they have been instrumental in getting the independence for our country. That's a well-known fact. Also, they have done with mistakes or not, they have done something. Some stable part of democracy has been delivered by them. Of course, you would hark back to those days when emergency was there, but that's not the case now. At least we have our civil liberties, we have our thought for freedom of expression. That's the reason why I'm able to record this. Now, the point that Rahul Gandhi has tried to make is that our elections are akin to a dictator's elections. His point is that we are living in a country where our elections are spoken for. They are decided much before the ballot is casted, which is completely preposterous. When a person tries to explain his failure, just like a proverb goes, a bad workman blames his tools, the same is with Rahul Gandhi. I am a person with limited expertise on political thought. I have got my readings done and I just follow the newspapers. And even to me, it is quite evident that Rahul Gandhi here is making statements which are not conducive even to their own party. Punjab has Amarinder Singh. Andhra Pradesh has YSRCP, YSR Congress Party, which is a breakaway faction from Congress itself. Odisha has Naveen Patnaik. If there was a real democratic issue with the country, there wouldn't be so many parties that are ruling some other states. Bengal has TMC. If you go beyond, there will be other states which will be ruling, which will be having their own dispensations, and those parties have BJP as the opposition. The whole thought here, or the whole saga that Rahul Gandhi is trying to build, is that our elections are not free and fair, and our ballot boxes are only BJP printing machines. That's the kind of analogy that he is trying to make. And the worst part about the statement that Muammar Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein means that he wants Narendra Modi to be viewed as a dictator who is not an elected party dictator. Who is not an elected member of the Indian government, but just as a dictator, which is not absolutely true, which is doesn't make any sense. Narendra Modi has been the prime minister of this country only from 2014. Before that, it was all about Congress. Congress used to be at the helm. There was in between Atal Bihari Vajpayee, there used to be a Janata Party or the Jan Sangh's later version and all of that. But the majority of this rule of the country has been made by Congress. So why suddenly Congress has come to this situation where they think that the country's ballots are being spoken for because they are not able to perform? Congress is a party which does not have a party president since Rahul Gandhi has resigned after the debacle that he faced in 2019. Since then, 2018, I believe. So since then, Congress party has been a rudderless party. It has not been playing the role of a constructive opposition. Not only that, it has not been even looking at how the party has become. It has not even taken care of its own states. There are some outstanding leaders from the Congress party, mind you. Captain Amarinder Singh is one of them, but still, they uh, in the quest to become something better to counter the BJP's party machinery, they call it as a dictatorial party. But the fact is, it is well agreed that BJP has a completely different party. Right now, they are the strongest party, not because of Congress's mistakes or not because of Congress not doing well, but it's because they have put in their own effort. They have their party-based cadre. They have their Panna Pramukhs. Panna Pramukh is something like for each ballot role, if there are a set of members, there are people who actually go and take care of each and every part, try to establish a communication with each and every uh, candidate of the role. That's the reason they have been able to build a machinery, an electoral machinery for sure, and they have been able to win elections, and they have won it fair and square. And especially the stance taken by Narendra Modi, if you look at Doklam or if you look at any of even our vaccinated Maitri diplomacy, you see that there is a strong, because of a strong party at the center, our country has been able to counter the narrative of many other countries who talk about India not being a westernized democracy. India is not a westernized democracy for sure. We have our own democracy. We vote for our politicians, whether it is by freebies or not. It is our stuff. It is not something that needs to be judged. And the reason why I'm keeping this is because why I'm actually eliciting my thoughts is because Rahul Gandhi, you are the leader of your party. You are the leader of an opposition party that is in tatters only because of your mistakes. You need to lead your party. It's your responsibility to bring it out of the quagmire that it is in right now. G23, for example, of your own, there is a group of 23 party members from your own party who have tried to bring back your party to the help. And what has happened? You have criticized them. You have not given them any any kind of a any kind of a recognition. You have driven away Ghulam Nabi Azad, and you have been extremely critical of those who actually want the betterment of the party. Now, from the Indian public standpoint, it is not good to have not any opposition. We need a political opposition who actually can elicit the points against the government's misgovernance. How much ever we be pro to BJP, we always need a checkpoint to the government. That's what is a healthy democracy about. But how much of an effort have you kept on to really criticize us? I really wish the best of luck for you in the Tamil Nadu elections and in the other elections that might come in the future. But giving a point that our elections or our electoral democracy is a dictatorial democracy doesn't give any uh, credence to a political leader that you are. If that is the case, then why are you still fighting elections and why are you still going in? I think it's much better if you quit the Congress party and let anyone else take the Congress party, not from the Gandhi family. Because right now, if things are at what they are, if there is no credible opposition that the the Indian public can look up to, the government can and do whatever they want with impunity. That shouldn't be the case. And the government has not done that, mind you. The BJP government has tried to give their own set of governance. They have been taking the bull by the horns. They have brought in a lot of legislations. They are trying to improve agriculture as well. But as vested interests are there, they are trying to do whatever they could. So what I would like to elicit from this is that what I would like to explain here is that Rahul Gandhi, man up and become someone who is a good enough leader to take care of the whole Congress. You have it in within you. You are There are predecessors from your own family who have done it. Then why not you can come up and bring up Congress to a place that can challenge opposition parties. As you know, politics is a time-based thing. You would be on the bottom at some day, but if you put in the hard work, you will be at the top. But it is not to be taken for granted. You need to put in the hard work. Please put in the hard work, Rahul Gandhi ji, and please take up Congress to its former glory. No one would go wrong, because as long as the people of India are being taken care of, the people of India, the moderate voters, would not really mind which party is taking care of the electoral democracy. That is for sure. I have been trying to be unbiased, but I would really hope that Congress gets some kind of a credible challenge to BJP. That's it from my end.